Alrighty, we're live on both the YouTubes and the Twitches. I'll put my links in the chat and then we'll get started here. Introduce myself. I am Coach Steve Money and I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you are in luck. If you have financial problems, money problems, or just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial assessment / consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email me about anything that's on your mind, including the financial coaching, including anything that's on my YouTube channel, whatever's on your mind. And donations you can send to PayPal. Nope. That's down here. PayPal.me/Coach Steve Money. All right. Let's get going here. Oh. I need these. Tech support, maybe occasionally a witty retort. Tech support, don't forget your covers on your TBS reports. Oh no, this is the tech support. Alrighty, let's cut that out before we get copyright claimed on that. Alrighty, and hide that. And let's go to catch up on some, or button up some issues from last week. We got, let's see, first upvote on somebody's USB and mouse and keyboard problem, and got an upvote, so I assume I was right about that. And this from public payment 9233. Just a bit late on the reply. You were right. It was a bad monitor, so there you go. In addition to that fine review, I have 25 plus years of PC tech experience, which I currently do that as a job as well. All right, let's get going. Armed buoy, armed underscore buoy. Poor browser performance despite otherwise fine internet speed hardware performance. Figured I would try posting here because I have absolutely no idea what is causing this issue. About a week ago, 1 week since I looked at you, something like that. My computer started experiencing issues loading certain web content. The issues are on a per website basis. Interesting. Some sites load fine. Some only have minor content issues. Some load extremely slowly. Some don't load at all. The problem persists across all the browsers I have downloaded. Firefox, Edge, Opera, Chrome. Troy Story would suggest Brave. I have not used that one. Although Firefox struggles with different sites compared to the Chromium browsers. Here's some examples. YouTube works mostly fine, on the Chromium browsers, aside from longish load times, while Firefox will sometimes lose the ability to click on site items. Gmail, Chromium browsers load my inboxes extremely slowly, while Firefox either works fine or doesn't load at all. Reddit, Firefox won't display Reddit at all. Chromium browsers will load the home page, but I won't be able to click on any of the side items. Twitch won't load stream thumbnails on any browser, and Firefox occasionally won't load it at all. The Chromium browsers the Chromium is the basis for the Chrome browser and also the Edge browser now as well. So that's what that means. Seriously at a loss here because my internet speeds are reading fine when performing in-browser speed tests. It doesn't say what it is though, and there's no abnormal hardware usage on my resource monitors. I'm on a Windows 11 21H2 based machine that I built just last month. Tried the following fixes: rolling back several Windows driver updates, reinstalling .NET Framework and Visual C++, clearing and resetting DNS cache, this domain name server, resetting Windows network settings, resetting the router, clearing the Windows update cache, testing browsers, hardware acceleration on off, testing browser in Windows safe mode with networking, clearing browser caches, light Windows reinstalled without removing existing programs. Any ideas to what could be causing this? This issue is really annoying since I'm in the middle of sending out job applications, and some of the links companies have sent me to won't work on any of my browsers. The only solutions I can think of are either to wait it out or perform a full Windows reinstall, the latter of which I'm trying to avoid at all costs. Get a small hard drive and try an install of Windows 10 first to see if it could be an 11 problem. Tiffany wants to know how to fix a motherboard that got shorted out by cat hair. I would probably say that you would want to buy parts and build an entirely new computer and then put a cover on it so it doesn't get cat hair on it and so you don't use it, since you may be addicted to video games, is what I would say. That's a friend of mine, in case you were wondering how I was so specific on that one. Let's see, get a small hard drive and try an install of Windows 10 first to see if it could be an 11 problem. And then, whoops. And then if no issues, fresh install Windows 11 on that small drive. Then, if no issues, do what you are trying to avoid at all costs. Alrighty, you can just call me if you want to be on here and you could weigh in on this stuff. Or just make jokes or whatever. It'll make it more fun. Or you could talk about your experience breaking computers and building. This from Aloysius, 3 S's. Defective HP Omen out for repairs. Estimated repair time went from 3 days to 1 month. After they received it. Any advice? Wait. I mean, if it's at a local repair shop, you can go get it and take it somewhere else. But let's see. Got brand new and the trackpad was totally defective. It would regularly become erratic and stop working. Resetting it with F11 make it work again, but it would quickly fail again. Okay, if it was brand new, you shouldn't have had it taken it to a repair shop. Hopefully you returned it for warranty repair. But generally, if you just got it and it happens within where the time period where you could just take it back to the store, do that. This happens a lot where people think that they need to have a brand new computer and then they need to fix something on it. That'd be like buying a car brand new and then find out you need to put new tires on it later. Well, you going to do that? So let's see, he gave me, so he sent the computer in, so maybe it was to whatever HP's warranty is, wherever that is, wherever you have to send it to. But yeah, different solution. But yeah, if it doesn't work after a fresh Windows install, then you would it's almost certainly a hardware problem. Slightly lesser chance, but still possible, is that the factory reset files on the drive are bad as a result of the drive being bad. So there we go. Okay, I think Tiffany left us and she has not called, so I guess it'll just be the same old boring show again. Sorry about that. Some people don't think it's boring. I mean, I don't know necessarily that I would watch. I guess if I wanted to learn about computers or stuff, I would. Some people do watch it though. Any tips you can offer on how to interact with HP on this? No, however you got in touch with them to begin with, in order to send it in like you did. Do that. I know the techs are not at fault, right? Likely some sort of part issue or something, or they're just behind. Can I like request a loaner computer or something? No, I have a loaner car from my car shop. I had my car there since Friday and I haven't heard from them, but I have their loaner car, so I don't care. Their loaner car is a lot nicer than my car. All right. Wow_space. Some of my Windows key functions, Windows snipping tool, copy paste board, and emoji board won't pop up again. I started having this random issue of some functions from my Win key not popping up anymore. Weird part, I have no idea how that started. Tried many other sites telling some fixes like going to regedit and GPedit, where there's group policy edit, but it still doesn't seem to work. Any other shortcuts of mine, Windows shortcuts like Win plus RED and the simple stuff works. Could try what I would try would be to you type in CMD and run as administrator command prompt. And then you would run system file checker, and that will check your Windows system files. And that is sfc/scan now, like that. And then that runs a system scan. Okay, I'll check on that in a minute. Mine should be fine since I haven't had any problems, but we'll see. So, but that scans all the Windows system files and tells you if there are some corrupted, it will repair them. And so let's see, even with that running, just looking at my task manager here, not as good as some people's computers that aren't using their computer, but has a way better one than mine. Let's see, 51% memory being used, even with the streaming and the what's the most here? Let's see, Windows installer worker, that's probably that, and the OBS 64. Okay. And the memory is the Chrome with 7 things happening in it. All right, but that's what I would check on that first. You might have to do a fresh install if that doesn't fix it. You could also, another thing, if you know when it started or have a good idea, like if you think it started less than a month ago, you could do a system restore to back a few months ago, something like that. And how you do that is system restore, and you click on create a restore point, but you're not going to create the restore point. You're going to just click on system restore right there, and next, and you would pick one of these to restore back to. So if I know that I didn't have the problem on 428, didn't have it until like 3 days ago or something like that, I could go back to the 428 one. I wonder why I don't have any older ones than that one. That's interesting. Normally you would be able to pick older ones, and sometimes it would be like another box here that would say see more restore points. Interesting. Maybe it was because of some update or something like that. Let's see if we're done on that. Yep, did not find any integrity violations, so we're all good on that. So that's 2 ways you can fix that. This is from Cleric Warlock. Wonder if it played any World of Warcraft there, or some Rift or something. I don't think we're Warlocks in Rift. PSU, power supply unit, crackles for 1 to 2 seconds on first use. That's what she said. After finishing my PC build and hooking up its EVGA 1600 watt P2 power supply. That's the model number, I guess. To an outlet for the first time, there was a crackling noise like 1 to 2 seconds. That's probably not good. I've kept the power supply's manual power switch on the entire time during installation. I've never switched it on at any point. Is this some kind of normal static discharge, or there's a more serious issue here? Well, if you finished it, if it still works, yeah, check the power cable firmly plugged in. Yeah, that's the sound you will get if you wiggle out the cable for poor contact. Okay, yeah. Yeah, if it still works, I wouldn't worry about it. Unless that does it every single time, then you might want to worry about it. But yeah, if it's just happened the one time, don't do it. And have you booted up with it since then? It's from Ztron 50. Display looks, yep. That's what you said. You got it, yeah. See, you could just interject stuff like that. See, you could just call, and you could do it through the Discord or something like that. Or I've done a few where I've had people call, and I just hold up the thing to the what's this called, a phone, to the microphone, which is right there, and it sounds pretty decent. So could do that. That way I don't have to provide all the content for everybody. I don't know why they make me do. Everybody makes me do it. No people will give me free content when I can't pay them. Display looks different after disabling integrated graphics. Well, I wouldn't think that would happen. So I have a T15G Lenovo laptop. I'm trying to disable the integrated graphics. On a laptop, there's only integrated graphics. Even if you have an NVIDIA or AMD video, that's still built into the same motherboard. It's not a different card or a different, like a daughter board connected to it. It's gonna be built right into that same main motherboard. So, however, every time I do, it's as if the screen compresses and the frame rate goes down substantially. My dedicated card is a 2080 Super. Again, that's way better than I have, and that's not fair. I got a 1050 Ti. Any help to keep this from happening is greatly appreciated. Make sure you're disabling the correct one, because it seems like it can't, whatever, after you disable that, or maybe you can't do that and have it work correctly. So it depends on that model. That's what I would go through. I would send you to the Lenovo support forums. Normally it's going to be called something like support.lenovo.com, and check in their forums for that kind of thing and specific help from them, because maybe on that one you cannot disable it or you'll have those problems. See what other people said. Have you installed the driver for the dedicated GPU? Yep. Updated the driver regularly off of GeForce Experience, and GeForce Experience has caused problems before, so you don't have to use GeForce Experience. You can install the driver without installing that, but yeah, I would try. Why do you need to disable it? Oh, to boost performance on games. I don't think disabling the integrated is going to boost performance on games. If you want to do games, you need to buy a desktop computer. Even with a 2080 Super, that should be fine. I don't know what kind of games you're running that need more than that. But again, a laptop, you're going to be limited by the size of it. So she said, and because it generates so much heat that it throttles back. So, but as far as the screen compressing and the frame rate going down, yeah, I don't know. That may be something specific to that motherboard. Theoretically, you would be able to disable it would be the Intel or AMD default video if it didn't have that 2080 Super chip in it, NVIDIA chip. All right, am I drunk? There's one for you, Ted. Power supply does not work on sister's PC, but it works on mine and other ones. These ones. While other power supplies work on sister's PC except for this one. Okay. I was too excited about messing with Tiff about that. I didn't pay attention. Okay. Power supply does not work on sister's PC, but it works on mine and other ones. While other power supplies work on sister's PC, except this one. I don't think you're drunk. That's a really weird problem. So, other power supplies work on every computer but yours, and your power supply doesn't work on a sister's PC. What is it? I can't figure out why my sister's PSU, power supply unit, doesn't work on her PC anymore. Oh, hers doesn't. Okay. Oh, okay. The sister's is the bad one. But, you know, sometimes you got to just swap power supplies with her and have both machines work and not worry about it again. Sometimes there's weird stuff like that happens. Let's see. Weird sister's PSU doesn't work on her PC anymore, but plugged in my PC and the technician's PC, it does work. Then when I try my own PSU on her PC, it does work. Required power wattage are the same for every PC, so that's not the problem, I think. I wouldn't think either. Wait, well, other power supplies work on sister's PC except this one. So, okay, so the problem is sister's power supply went out, or a replacement that you got for it. I hate it when I have to try to solve the badly worded question. But that's what I get for doing this. Power supply does not work on the sister's PC. So you got a replacement for that from somewhere, used or new, don't know. And you plug that in. No, maybe not if you just swapped. All right, I'm confusing myself. Power supply 8, okay, so bad power supply, at least working on your sister's PC, but it works on yours, okay? So you just keep that one then. Other power supplies work on sister's PC except this one, you mean doesn't work on... Oh, except the one power supply. I got it now. Okay, just an interesting phrasing there that caused that phrasing. Yeah, so it's just the one power supply doesn't work on the sister's PC. Could be the components in it, could be the video card. If her video card is way powerful or something like that, and that power supply is not cutting it. But, I mean, basically you just swap power supplies if those power supply wattages will work for each system and you don't worry about it. because I mean, stuff like this does happen. But you just fix the problem and move on instead of trying to ruin your life as to why it happened. So, and nobody answered that yet. All right. Spam House. This is from Poor Legal Advice. Excellent. Spam House. I received a legitimate looking email from my internet service provider stating that I've been blacklisted by Spam House. What is this? I obviously haven't clicked any links in the email. Is it a phishing attempt or is something compromising my network? Malwarebytes and Windows Defender came up with nothing. My phone, nothing detected. I don't run torrents or VPN on my network. Edit, the email states that my ISP is blocking port 25. What are my home networking implications? Well, you know what you could do? You could go ahead and get your phone and then run the app that says phone on it and say, oh, hey, ISP, did you send me an email? Blah, blah, blah. And then you would know the answer to that. So you could do that, but let's see, let's Google Spam House and see what that is. Looks like I expect there to be sausage there. Real-time, highly accurate threat intelligence, internet and major network. So yeah, so your internet service provider could be using that. So yeah, so call your internet service provider and find out. Also, ask them if they're blocking port 25. And the next question is, what do you need port 25 open for? Let's see what people got. This nice little spam bot riding on something. That's what she said. Connected to your network. Sending out a mountain of shit. Spam House legit. Yeah, that worked. With the IOTS out there, there are devices that may be running an email server. Okay. Cool. Yeah, call the ISP. That's why you call them. For them to employ, that's why you pay them, I mean, so they can employ customer service representatives to answer your questions. Tip probably took off again. She says that this is boring. Valentine 116. Most secure cloud storage or external drive security. What's the most secure cloud storage? Also, do you think storing photos and videos on the cloud is better than keeping them on an external drive? An external drive, if you don't have it connected to the computer, if it's sitting unplugged in your computer, if it's sitting on a shelf or in a drawer or something like that, unless somebody breaks in or one of your friends takes it, that's pretty secure. As far as the cloud, I mean, Apple has had stuff stolen off of their cloud. Like the iCloud accounts of celebrities have been taken off of there, though. I don't think recently, but, I mean, that's, as far as secure, I mean, if you got a picture of your grandma on there, nobody is interested in that except you. So it doesn't. So that basically doesn't matter. But the most secure, if you're gonna, I mean, you do both. You do a cloud and you do an external drive, and you take it out. If it's really, really important data, you not only back it up on the external drive, you take the external drive out of your house, so that if your house catches on fire, that data is still safe somewhere at another location. So if the other location burns down, then you should also have one maybe at your house as well. So it depends on how mission critical your data is. But just photos and videos, I mean, if they're legal, I would say any of them are as good as any other of them. Mac Pro doesn't show display. Might not be a possible Froyo 2045. I don't know if I'll be able to do this one. Let's see. I have a Mac Pro, the old cheese grater. That's funny. It's grater with a T. The old cheese grater from 2012, and it doesn't show display. Oh, my monitor doesn't even detect it. I tried removing and adding RAM. That didn't work. I tried using less video cards. Didn't work. Even replaced the hard drive with new one. None of that has anything to do with the video. Graphics card do, but the drive doesn't. To get video, even reassembled and cleaned the whole computer, and it didn't work. Could be power supply. Even if it turns on, often a bad power supply can spin fans and light lights, but not be able to boot the motherboard and provide video. So to get video, you don't need to drive. So all you need for video is the motherboard, the power supply, and the RAM and the processor. So any of that could be broken. If you have a different video card in it, you could try plugging in the onboard video if the motherboard has onboard video. And also, check your monitor on a different computer to make sure your monitor works. Because that would be a shame. It was an expensive computer, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You got to face facts. That's 2012. That's 10 years, babe. That means the computer is not worth anything. I mean, it might be to you if you have data on it, but I mean, for using it for something, if you've used a new computer, you don't want to go back to that thing. My goodness. But yeah, so the answer is hopefully it's not. Again. Let's see. In order of probability, what do you think, Tim? She's probably not watching. In order of probability, it is most likely the. I'm going to say power supply. I think power supplies go out more than video cards. The next video card, the next RAM. Another thing you can do with the RAM is if you have multiple sticks, maybe just one of your sticks is bad. So you can try one stick at a time just to try to get video. With one stick, the computer itself won't run very well, but it will be able to get video with just even one stick in there that works correctly. So you can try that. Adding RAM, that you still have your other RAM in there. So just try with one stick at a time is something you can do. The processor, in my experience, 25 plus years, is the least likely thing to be wrong with it. But there's still, you still gotta have that. But I would probably try, cheapest thing probably be the power supply to try to replace first if you got to buy a new piece of equipment to do that. And again, not worth it to fix it probably because it's a 10-year-old laptop or desktop. Mac. Alrighty. Different USB ports cause stutters and input lag. I'm going to guess broken USB port. Even one broken USB port or one broken USB device can cause problems throughout the entire USB network. The USB subsystem. So yeah, anything bad that's connected to any of that, any of the ports itself or any of the devices can cause a problem. Like if we got this mouse is bad, and I plug my webcam in there, it doesn't work. That could be, it could be because of the bad mouse. So let's see. If I don't have anything in my USB 3.1 slot, the only red one, I get stutters, but less input lag. If I have something in that slot, I get input lag. Anyone know why? I have a 59RX, 1050 Ti, join the club, older video card, and that motherboard. I would assume Well, I shouldn't assume. Actually, let's check out that motherboard then. And so we can see where the red one is. If the red one, well, see, I don't. If you don't see it in the case, oh well, it should be red actually. So let's see, images. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, see, this isn't showing me. I'm not seeing any red right there. Let's see if there's other ones. Try to make it bigger. That's what she said. Yes, I'm not seeing any red on it. So, like generally, the USB 3s are blue. The plastic inside it is blue, but like I can't tell from this picture. Let's see if there's a better picture. Whoops, that was the one we wanted. That was the droid we were looking for. 2 times USB 3.2 generation 2. Okay, so but that's yeah, that's a different type. That's USB-C. Oh, there's the red one. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's right there. So right there, right above. You see where it says the Type C there, USB 3.2. I'm pointing at it, you can't see. Right there, second, it says from the top flashback button, USB 2.0, USB 3.2, generation 2, the Type C one, and then right above that is 3.2, and maybe as an older version of that motherboard where there was a different one. So, but why you would have to have something in that slot? Get stutters, but no, let's input back. I don't know. Maybe the driver, update the driver for the motherboard. All the drivers for the motherboard from the website if you previously installed the drivers from the DVD that comes with the motherboard. So I would try that first. The second, I would try a fresh Windows install and see if it may be a Windows problem, but it could be, and again, since one bad port can cause the problem, disable the front case. Let's see where those are. Disable the front case USB connectors by right there. You see where it says on the right side here, right above me, right there, 2 times USB 3.2 generation 1 ports. Take that cable out, and there'd probably be another one down at the bottom. One of the, if you look, let's see, where would it be? Right under the, right, I think the first 2 that you can see that aren't being hidden by my webcam frame, you see where it has 1, 2, 3, 4 plugs up at the top, and then 3 at the bottom there, and there's 2 of those in a row there. Those would be your regular, your USB 3, or maybe even USB 2. So unplug those as well, and those all go to the front case. And the front case ones are going to be easier to break because they aren't made as sturdy as the ones that are built as part of the motherboard, which is this in the back. That's what she said. All right, Front Hotel 8380, Lenovo Yoga won't charge. Forgive me everyone, but I'm tech stupid. Me and my wife and I have a Lenovo Yoga laptop and it won't charge unless I push and hold the plug into the computer with some force. What is wrong with it? It is broken. Maybe not necessarily, probably the power jack inside the laptop. But it could be also the adapter. The adapter could like have a short in it, and then when you jam that in there, that's what she said, and like hold it in place, then it makes connection, and then it will charge. So it could be the charger adapter, which is cheaper than replacing the jack inside it, because that's to be taken apart. And so how normally that works is back in the old days. Let's see, Lenovo. Let's see, we have a picture. Lenovo Yoga motherboard. Beep beep beep. Let's see if they have it inside the casing. Boom, boom. Did I do image? I did not do image. Image. Boop, boop, ba-doo. There we go. That's the ThinkPad Yoga. I guess it's the same. Yeah, okay. Or would be similar. Let's go to that. And let's make... Cannot make that any bigger. Let's try that. Come on, where'd it go? Well, where did it go to? That's weird. Okay, there it is. All right, so it is no, that's it. Oh, I guess I could have done this. Whoops. Oh, that just does that. Okay. Feel like maybe that one right there. Or would it be in the back? Well, this one isn't as easy to see as some of them. I would guess that one. But basically how it's normally, so this is all built onto the motherboard. And now back in the day, they would have the power jack normally soldered onto the motherboard. And in this case, it may be part of it. Like if that's it right there. And so you would have to replace that whole thing, and most computer shops are not going to be able to do that because those solder points are too precise to do that. So they're not going to be able to fix that for you if that's what it is. Oh, let's see. Let me try to find a, let's see, laptop power jack. Images. Okay, yeah, and see, this is what it was. So, like, they used to have this soldered into the motherboard all the time, and so that ended up causing more problems. So they eventually went to where they plug it into the motherboard. But normally, this sits in a thin plastic, like, housing, and then and then the interior of it, which, let's look at that one bigger. Where's my zoom? I thought I could zoom it. It just said zoom. Let's see if it shows the inside of it. Mouse over to zoom. Anyway, but you can see how that's the interior of that is all plastic. It has so the contacts are inside the plastic or connected to the plastic. And so, but the problem is a lot of the kids today, and I guess even adults, will, like if they're on an office chair where they can spin around, and they have their laptop on their lap, and they're just spinning around having fun, and it's also plugged in. The cord, do I have a cord here handy? The cord going into that will get pulled tight, and that can easily break the inside of that. So you would have to replace that. Also, if it's plugged in when it falls, something like that, anything that jerks it, that's what she said, forcefully can break the inside of that. And so that's how that works. And that, you see how it has the screw hole for that right there. You can just screw that on top of the into the motherboard, and then, like I said, it's in like it's just in plastic, like a plastic little compartment inside the motherboard case, and that can break easily too. And so then, if the inside of the jack is not broken, the jack itself can still like move. If it breaks out of and the screw's not holding it in place anymore, and then it can like move back and forth and stuff, and then you may not be able to get it in far enough to make good connection. That's what she said. All right. That was fun. What time is it? I got about 14 more minutes. Normally I like to do an hour. That's also what she said. Okay. So you got that happening. It just depends on how old it is, whether it's worth it to take care of it. I mean, I wouldn't do much force. I would do it enough to make it work, because you probably can't break it anymore, but it's possible. And eventually that may stop working, and then you can either get that repaired or get another laptop. Again, it just depends on. It also depends on how far it has to be taken apart. That one looked like it was basically just the back cover taken off, and so that's not too bad. But it also looked like some of them, you not only have to take the back cover off, which gives you access to everything here, but the way the power jack is in there, you would have to also unscrew everything and take the motherboard out and flip it around to do that from the other side. Phrasing. Trouble with a DAT file. Gilbert Jones, 1232. Accidentally opened a DAT file in Word accidentally. 2 accidentallys. How do I reverse this and just restore it to its original file, making it so it doesn't open with a program? You just now you didn't, unless you edited it, unless you typed something and saved it, you didn't change it. But it may be that you told it to open it, and that made its default program. So you would just go into default apps, and there you just change it there. Let's see, by file type. Change default apps by file type, and let's see what the by type. Okay, it doesn't say that. Oh, there they are right there. Do I even have data where? Let's see. That's a lot of file types, dog. DAT, choose a default. So you can probably take something out of there. Let's see, for that Photoshop one. No, it doesn't sound like you can get rid of it. So what you could do is do a system restore again to a date before you did that, and then that would reset that part. But it didn't look like you could change it to nothing. You would have to change it to whatever its supposed to be. But sometimes when a particular program uses a DAT file, it can take care of it automatically without Windows having to know what to use to open a DAT file. Printing error from Queasy Visuals. I've been having this problem wirelessly printing from my computer where I select the printer, and when I decide to print it, I always run into an error. It's a Brother printer and I can use an app to print. However, it doesn't give me the same editorial options that printing from my computer does, like halving an image. Oh, I'm cutting it in half. Okay, halving an image to print in 2 pieces. I've been using Photoshop to edit, and I'm trying to use the print option on it to no avail. Wirelessly printing from my computer while I select the printer and when I decide to print always running. You can use an app, but you can't. I don't know what that means, that you can use an app, because also Photoshop is an app. So I don't know what you mean an app from it. If you would just go into the printer settings, you could try a test print from that in the Windows printer settings. And you could also try connecting it with a cable instead of doing it wirelessly, because it may be something just related to wirelessly, but yeah, that's a weird one. So I would wonder what app you're using to print something from it. Brother, you don't have to necessarily have it installed, but Brother has like software for that printer that would put that in. And if Windows just installed its default driver for it, you may not have that additional stuff, but you would be able to go into the Windows printer settings to do that. But perhaps also the Brother printer settings. All right, and nobody else has answered yet, so no other ideas on that one. Is there an MP3 player but for videos? It's a phone. So I'm going somewhere where there's no Wi-Fi and I don't have a lot of storage on my phone. Oh, is there an external player like an MP3 player, pleasing, but specifically for videos, movies downloaded that has no internet connection? Still this, you just buy a huge SD card for it, or whatever kind of storage your phone has, and you download all the stuff to it. You connect it to your computer and you download all your videos to it. And movies, etc., etc. So, yeah, you just buy a hella big SD card for your phone. And if not, you can buy a phone. They recently, on my Ramsey Show After Show recently did a story. Apple has discontinued the last iPod. Alright, because you don't need it, because you have this, you have a phone. Why not just get a phone? From Hyped.exe maybe? Computer issue. For some reason, when I go start up my PC, it starts up normally and ends up on the lock screen. All that's normal. But when I try to click to get to the other lock screen to enter my password, my mouse doesn't click. Try a different mouse. I also tried using my keyboard, and that also doesn't work. Yeah, if you hit enter, that also would not do it. Neither my touch screen thing. You got problems. You got problems. It's possible it didn't get completely shut down. A recent Windows update has made hybrid shutdown the default, where it's more like a sleep than a shutdown. And so that way, if you have little glitches like this, you're not clearing them out by just doing shutdown, because it's doing the hybrid shutdown. So what you would do is to hold the unplug it and hold the power button in and make that for 7 seconds so that the PC turns off completely. let it sit for just a second, 30 seconds or something like that. Plug it back in, turn it back on, and see if it makes a difference. Because that could be the dealio. Or if you haven't tried restarting it, do that. Probably wouldn't think the mouse and keyboard would be failing at the same time unless the USB/motherboard is broken. That's all I got there. Let's see what is the keyboard working in the BIOS? That's another great idea. Yep. Keyboard doesn't work, so I can't do that. Oh yeah, you can't press delete or F2. Well, okay, so that happens before Windows is involved. So yeah, when you restart it, you get the motherboard splash screen or the manufacturer of the computer, like HP. It would say HP's logo on there, and there is a default key. You can Google it to see for your manufacturer, your motherboard, or your PC builder. Like for example, what's motherboard? MSI would be motherboard. ASRock. They have a default BIOS keys, and so you would press that, and that has nothing to do with Windows. So if it's just a Windows problem, it may still work in the BIOS. So yeah, that's not a software problem, right? Right. No. Plugging in the other mouse, and that also didn't work for some reason. Yeah, disconnect other devices in case one of them is making problem. Yep, absolutely. If any bad USB port, a lot of people are amazed at that information, but since they're all connected, if there's one bad device or one broken port, it can cause a problem with everything. Alright, get it to a repair shop so they can diagnose what's wrong. Probably motherboard, and can't get the motherboard. User steps can't be resetting BIOS, can't be done, right? So, yep. So, I mean, yeah, it could be the firmware on the BIOS, rather. That's the software that runs the motherboard. It could possibly be that, but more times than that, it's that the actual physical motherboard is broken, like it's a hardware broken part. All right. We got time for one more. Let's do one more. Help with finding some sort of HDMI hub for my setup. Probably KVM or KVM switch, keyboard, video, mouse switch. But let's see. Hello, I'm not very good with the technologies, so sorry about that. Second, I do not know if this is the right sub to post that in. So my setup is going to have a monitor on my desk, TV on the wall. I have 4 devices to use on them. Is there anything I can buy that I can plug all the devices into that then goes to both the TV and the monitor? Oh yeah, what you're looking at, a combination of a switch and a splitter. I only need one of these displays to be on at a time. Yeah, very difficult to describe it. Just how I want to say this. I want to be able to switch both the input and the output with one device. 4 in, 2 out. I don't know if there's a thing for that. Is there? Look up HDMI switcher. Yeah, that won't. I don't know. Let's see. Pretty sure individual multiple input and output exists. Might be expensive. Definitely would be expensive. Oh, matrix switches. Let's take a look. All right. HDMI matrix switch, 8x8, $700. Do. I'm gonna go ahead and guess you don't get a switcher for that, and you just do it manually. Yeah. Alrighty, that'll do it for this episode of Tech Support with Coach Steve Money. Once again, I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. That is Dave Ramsey's company. If you've got money problems or just want to make sure you're on the right track, You can schedule a free financial assessment / consultation with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. These links are in the top of the chat and the video description below and on the right side of my YouTube banner here as well. You can email me about anything. It's CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. If you just happen to be an old friend of mine and you Google me because you forget my email address and you block my phone number, you can do that right there. CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com, and we can work that out. Or anything, if you want to talk about any computer stuff or anything financial stuff, anything on my channel, you can do that as well. Anything you're interested in, I'll be more than happy to interact with you for a few minutes. I got that kind of time. Donations, paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney, so I can make this thing better. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And make smart, technical, and financial decisions every day.